Nithyanandam. I welcome you all to this new video where I'm going to share one of the powerful techniques that I learned from Avatar Paramahamsa Swami Nithyananda, the technique of completion, in the 21 days meditation retreat program called Inner Awakening. So let me start how I got interested to understand this technique called completion. When I attended the program Inner Awakening, I understood there are certain decisions in life, certain things that I was going through in life. I was not able to understand why me? Why do I have to behave in certain way? And why do I have to attract certain people in my life who continue to give me this experience about life? So, Swamiji, we found Paramahamsa Swami Nithyananda, we fondly call him as Swamiji. He introduced the technique called Inner Science of Completion, which explains why certain people behave in certain way and what is the source of your behavioral thought trends. He beautifully explained this technique with a simple example. A girl in the history class. This little girl is so enthusiastic. She is 8-year-old. She always wants to pour life into everything that she does. So this history class, the teacher comes and she asks a question. Who is the first Prime Minister of United States? This girl is so enthusiastic, so she puts her hand up and then says, it is George Bush. As soon as she gives this answer, everybody around her started laughing. Now, what do you think this girl would feel about herself at that point in time? This girl probably would have felt, I'm not good enough. I cannot try things in life. I'm stupid. And probably she would have felt people around her, the classmates around her and friends around her, they are mean. They do not understand where she is coming from. They are just laughing at her. So maybe these are all some of the impressions that she had about herself and about others. Now let's say the teacher comes back the next day and the teacher is asking a different question. This girl in the history class, the girl who answered the question in the history class as the previous day, she actually knows the answer for this question. But do you think that she will actually put her hand up and answer the question? The answer is no. Because she is probably thinking she is going to commit or make another mistake and she does not want all her friends to laugh at her. Right? The reality is she knows the answer, but she is not able to see the reality because the reality is masked by the past experience about herself and about life. That is why she is not able to see the reality as it is. So now, let's move on to the next scene. So now this girl grows up and she is attending an interview. So there is a panel of interviewers and there is this girl and there are some other people who wants to get interviewed. Now, again the interviewer is asking a question. This girl actually knows the answer for that question. But do you think this girl would actually put her hand up and confidently answer the question? No. Because she is continuing to carry the image of herself and also about life from the first history class incident. And this story is not the story of some girl in the history class. This story is the story of every one of us. You, me, everybody who's watching this video and whoever we see in this world, everybody has their own story. We carry certain perception about us and certain perception about life from an incident, and we continue to carry all those perceptions and we continue to use that goggle and see the life in a way which is so restricting. And as soon as I heard these experiences from Swamiji, this particular session from Swamiji, it was it was just life shaking for me. I immediately understood. I immediately understood the puzzle of my life. Why I was feeling certain way towards all relationships. Let me share my story. When I was 3 years old, I was raised by my grandparents. So what happened was, my mom and I, we went to the school. That was the first day of my school, and I was a really talkative kid. I did not have any inhibitions about making friends or at learning. I did not have any inhibitions at all in life at that stage. So she drops me in the school, and then she goes back home. I instantly made friends with everybody, and I had a best day in school. But when I came back home, I learned that my mom was nowhere. She left me at my grandmother's place, and she went back to our native place, and she lived a beautiful life with her husband, which is my dad, and my brother. This is how I understood. So for a 3-year-old, I was so attached to my mom. To me, my mom was everything in my life. So as soon as I came to know that she's not there anymore for me, then the immediate inner image, how I felt about myself was, I'm an orphan. And how I felt about life, life will abandon you. No matter what, someday something will happen and life is going to abandon you. So these are the two powerful limiting statements, limiting cognitions that I carried about myself and about life. So as I grew up, I had a lot of friends, but there was some situation, something would happen in a way that everybody will leave me, and I will end up feeling that I am again lonely and I'm an orphan. So I continue to attract situations and people in life where I started experiencing them, that they are going to abandon me and I am going to become an orphan once again. What it started as relationship also traveled in other dimensions of my life. Let's say wealth. So at the age of 13, we were a very decent middle class family. We had, whatever we wanted to have, we were having. There was some family crisis that happened where my mom had to help her friend, and her friend ditched her. So as a result, we had to sell all our properties, and we lost everything, whatever we had in terms of wealth, within few days. So there were days when I used to go to temple not to worship God. I used to go to temple to actually get food from, the prasad, the anadan free meal that they serve in temple. I used to have meals from the temple. So within few days, experiencing the drastic change in the financial situation, again it made me to feel that, look, life is abandoning you. Wealth is impermanent. So what it started from the relationship also traveled in the other dimensions of life, which is wealth. And slowly from wealth it moved to health. So in all different dimensions of my life, I started experiencing that life is going to abandon me and I am an orphan. So with this cognition, I entered into a relationship with my husband. We were in a relationship for about 7 years, and it is such a beautiful fairy tale love story where both our parents agreed, within a month after we got into the relationship. And any girl, girl can imagine however their life has to be with their partner, everything was there. But for some reason, I constantly used to believe that my partner did not like me, my husband did not like me, and he is there because he is forced to be in this relationship. Nobody forced in reality, but this is how I understood. And he is going to abandon me one fine day. So I continued to believe in this reality, and I continued to be in my insecurity in such a way that even if he talks to his grandmother, I used to feel so possessive, which does not make any sense, because I used to think that he's going to abandon me. And he always used to feel so caged around me. And all the relationship issues that I had with him in last 7 years, everything just came right in front of my face, making me understand that, oh God, whatever I felt as a child with my mother, I'm just projecting onto all my relationships, be it my friends, school friends, university friends, best friends, my partner, my husband, my in-laws, to every single person in this planet Earth. I'm just projecting the same image, and it was life shaking for me. Just that understanding of why I behave the way I behave, it made me to become grounded. And within split seconds, I started feeling overwhelming gratitude for every single relationship in this life form. So that was my experience about completion. So there is a particular technique that Swamiji teaches how you can complete this thought trend. So he led us into a beautiful meditation where we relive all the moments that we had in our life, and this particular technique is taught by Swamiji. And the original reference for this technique is from Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which is a Shiva Sutra where Sadashiva reveals how you can get completed to his Devi. So Swamiji taught us the very same technique, and when I practice the technique, I tell you, I've never practiced 10,000 times of completion. I only understood it is life-changing for me, and I really wanted to let go of this particular thought trend. Only these two were contribution from my side. When I just did the technique as it is, I experienced intense completion. So if there is anybody who wants to learn about themselves and how and if they want to experience this completion technique, feel free to contact me, post your email ID and phone number as a comment, and I will get in touch with you. I'm an initiated completion acharya, a teacher who is initiated by Swamiji himself. So I'm happy to guide you all through this technique, and I guarantee every one of you, after you practice this technique, you will experience huge breakthroughs in life. So I thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Nithyanandam.